Good evening, ladies. I know I've been promising you that we would do a fireside chat by the fireside. Well, I figured the one right before Christmas would be a great time to do this because we think about family, we think of hearth, we think of gift giving and generosity. And I wanted to just kind of evoke this whole feeling that we usually get. Sometimes though, honestly, holidays can be a little tough. I know for me, after the divorce, all those things that I'd done in the past, those things that brought me joy, the joy had pretty much been sucked out of them. And so now it just left me with questions about, so what do I do now? The holidays are still coming. I am still going to be here because breakups and divorce, they don't kill you. Absolutely not. You keep right on living. And that's the good thing. What I found I needed to do was find some new traditions. And one of the first things that I did is I thought about, so what do I really enjoy? Not what did he enjoy? Not what has my family always enjoyed that I did because I had to do it. But what do I really enjoy? And as I sat and I thought about that for a while, I started to come up with new traditions, different traditions that were meaningful to me. And one of the first things that comes to mind is I love music. And so what I started doing is going to see Handel's Messiah every year. And there are so many different ways that Handel's Messiah is done. There's the traditional, there's the contemporary, there's so many takes on it. And I took time learning about all of them. And since it was something that I enjoyed doing, I just went ahead and did it. And sometimes I found friends that also had the same interests, and we would go together. Because after all, you really don't need someone to take you to see a performance. You can go yourself and with friends, and you can still have a great time. So one of the other things that I found that I really needed to do, make a break with that past. Get rid of that old stupid tree and those old ornaments and get a new tree and get new ornaments that I picked out myself that I enjoyed. And so that's what I did. And for me, the fun part is to find things I enjoy without breaking the bank. So I had coupons, I found sales, I went from store to store. And some of you, it might sound exhausting. You can probably do it on Amazon, but Amazon wasn't a big thing then. So I would go to the different craft stores, and I had a great time finding things that I liked to put on my tree. And so that's what I did, and I displayed them. What I also started doing is I started thinking too about ways that I could contribute to other people. And there are a lot of angel tree programs. And Salvation Army has them, Prison Fellowship has them. So many organizations have angel tree programs. And so what I started to do is I would take one of the little angel ornaments and I would go out and I would shop for this child, this family that had less than I did. And I didn't have a whole lot, but I definitely have enough to share. And so I went and I did that. And I enjoyed doing that as well. And it really made me feel good to know that I was helping other people. And when I felt good helping other people, it made me feel good on the inside. It kind of filled up a little bit of that hole that I had on the inside with stuff that was actually good and things that were actually going to go the distance for the long haul. And I really appreciated having the opportunity to do that as well. One of the other things that I took a look at was my other friends. And after, actually even before I got divorced, when I got separated and, things were just hitting the rails, I actively sought out groups for support. And in those groups, I found women who did not judge me, but who could relate to my experience. And those were the women that I actually went to Handel's Messiah with. Those were the ones that I did walking through the Symphony of Lights with. And one year we even took the dogs, and that was fun. But these are also the women that I invited over. And sometimes we would have like the pre-Christmas meal or the actual Thanksgiving meal. And I do like cooking for holidays. The regular everyday stuff, not so much. But holidays are something different. You're not under that pressure for time to get stuff done. And so I would invite friends over. And if they wanted to bring something over, great. A lot of friends were going through a similar situation that I was. The best thing they could bring was their smile and their presence. And honestly, that was really enough. And so we would sit around the table and we would eat good food and we would share stories. And you're a lot less lonely when you're with people who understand what you're going through. And you tend to cheer each other up. So that was a very good experience for me and for all of us. And that's something, honestly, I still like to do today, to bring people around my table who also wouldn't have other people that they could spend the holidays with. Because there's nothing worse, and I can speak from experience, than sitting in a cold home by yourself while you're thinking about everybody else who's having a good time. And you really don't have to do that. One of the ways I found to avoid those lonely feelings was by getting myself into community. So that's another strategy that I tried. Something else that I did, and I'm just giving you lots of ideas and things. I'm not saying that these are all things that will work for you, but just maybe some things to try, and they might even spark something for you. I like baking, and I did my holiday baking. And sometimes I would have a young person who didn't have a mom who would come over, and we would bake together. And that was fun. And we would bag everything up in some cute little paper, some cute little baskets. And then we could give them to people who didn't have family or didn't have people who would necessarily be caring for them in that way. And again, it's giving. And as you give, your well gets more and more full, and you have more to give. So these were some of the new traditions that I came up with that really helped me during this period of my life. And I share them in hopes that there's something there that you can pick up, that you can use for yourself. If I can help in any way brainstorm or help you to transition through this time, by all means, let me know. The first year really is the toughest. And after you do come up with some of these traditions that you can own for yourself, I'm not saying that it becomes easy, but you can find things that bring you joy in a situation that sometimes can be joyless. It's all up to you. So take care. Have a wonderful holiday season. Find your own traditions that work for you.